Hello and welcome back to another Shadowlands Goldfarming video. Today I'm going to talk about how to set up a perfect or a very good level 16 Guardian Druid with skinning to farm for exactly that, skinning gold farms. So I'm going to show you how I've set up my characters with talents, covenants, gear and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you an example of how I pull to show you what I'm doing. So for this we're traveling to Ardenweald, which is also where I have most of my skinning farms. And I have many skinning farming videos available, so if you want to see any examples of where to farm, well, you can just check out my channel for recent uploads. Basically, my very favorite farm is right here. We have like, you go all the way up here, you farm over there, you then go down here again and farm all the way down here and back up, and yeah, you just do it in like a long circular shape. You also have the flying moth route around Hibernal Hollow that I will upload a video about tomorrow, I think, or yesterday, depending on when this video comes up. So that will also come up very soon. That route is very good. You also have one all the way up here where you run in a big circle, killing tons of stags and stuff. And you have my dragon route as well, all the way up here. So basically right now I'm just going to show you an example of a big pull, or what I consider a somewhat big pull. So here we go. You want to have Moonfire set up on a very easy keybind to use so you can pull very fast while you're moving and targeting. And I'm going to talk about the nameplates and stuff after this as well, because that actually matters quite a bit. So if you don't have the nameplate, or you have worse nameplates than the ones I have, targeting mods like this and tons of enemies while you have tons of enemies on you can be quite a pain. So you want to make sure you have the best nameplate available while you're pulling. You also want to use Iron Fur every now and then while pulling. And the thing is, you actually have so many defensives as a Guardian Druid, so you never really run out of defensives to use. So just use them while pulling. So I use Iron Fur all the time. I also use Bark Skin every now and then while pulling to be able to pull more mobs, because you will pretty much never die as a Guardian Druid, so just pull as many mobs as you really want to. Make sure you use Thrash every now and then to reset the aggro on the mobs, otherwise they will start running back, and that will kinda mess up the entire pull, right? So use Thrash every now and then. Exactly why it works I don't really know. I think it has something to do with the threat levels and stuff. So yeah, use Thrash every about 10 seconds and you should be fine. Basically I just pulled all of this, right, and we still haven't died. We are in no dangers whatsoever. Now you want to use another Thrash right there. And ideally, if I wasn't talking about things at the same time, they would all die in one nice pile right here in the middle. But since I was talking and not really pulling all that efficiently, they kinda died a bit all over the place. That's fine, we're still killing all of them. And we're gonna loot them, skin them, and just do all that good stuff. I'm just doing this as an example to show you exactly how I'm pulling and how I'm doing things. Ideally they would die more close together, so I could just do one big loot and one big skin. There is some lag in Ardenweald as well, so I might just skip the skin or talk about it while I'm skinning. My server is really laggy right now for Ardenweald. I don't know why, it's only affecting Ardenweald, so that's kinda strange. But yes, this is generally how you pull. You want to do big pulls all the time. You always want to pull as many mobs as possible. For a Guardian, you only really have AoE abilities, right? And you have insane survival. One of the one reason why you're surviving so much is because of a gear piece I'm going to talk about and show you very soon. Some of these mobs might reset before I skin them because of the lag, so it's taking a bit longer to actually skin. That's fine, I'm only doing it for the video. So for the setup, basically I have the talent set up like this. For the talents, you can do whatever you want really. I like Renewal for more survivability while pulling. You can use Wild Charge to charge to an enemy, or you can also use Tiger Dash to run away or run to an enemy faster. That's totally up to you. The one thing I really enjoy is the Restoration Affinity. That one heals you a lot passively, which is also amazing. For the next row though, it's pretty much all of it is useless. Mass Entanglement has one use, and that is basically if you manage to pull too many and you have to get out of combat, you can use Mass Entanglement and then use your Soul Shape ability to teleport away, so you can basically use it as an escape. But everything on this row is basically useless. And then for the next one, you can use whatever one you want. They are all useful. Soul of the Forest, maybe not so much, but this one, pretty good, right? And this one as well is also pretty good. It increases health by 30%. Can be useful while you're actually pulling and stuff. And you can freely change out in and out of bear form, and it gives you all of the same abilities as Berserk, plus the 30% health. That one can be really good while pulling. But I just go with this one, it's much easier, and you get some more damage and more range from Moonfire. More rage is always good. And then you have Earth Warden. This one makes you take less damage from the auto attacks, which is fine. You have this one as well, which definitely works if you do use this one, the Bark Skin or Survival Instincts, a lot. And this one you can use very easily. Reduces all damage you take by 50%, has a 3-minute cooldown. So this one is definitely good. I just choose this one because I never run out of cooldowns anyway, and I have Renewal. So when you have Renewal, I feel like you don't need to have Survival of the Fittest, because I basically never die anyway, and I just want to have this one instead. Because I do deal a ton of damage with Thrash, so having something that kinda synchronizes with Thrash is amazing. And for the next one, once again, you have many different things to go for, but this one, definitely the one you want to go for. Each stack of Thrash reduces the target's damage to you by 2%, and increases your damage to them by 2%. You will want to use this for many reasons. First of all, you will use Thrash to reset aggro, and that will make them deal less damage to you, and Thrash is your most AoE damaging ability. And speaking of Thrash, the gear. You want to have this because of this legendary right here, which you also really want to have for farming. I will cover other legendaries as well, but this one is definitely the best one in my opinion. So every time you use Thrash, it has a 15% chance to trigger an additional Thrash. And this proc can proc from the proc, if that makes sense. So if you're really lucky, you can cast 4 to 5 Thrashes in a row based on the procs. And Thrash also gives you an absorb shield for 75% of all the damage it deals. This is why you never die when you're pulling. And that is it for that legendary, so this one synchronizes really well with this talent right here. And for the gear itself, I'm 181 and I can pull as many mobs as I want. Pulling and surviving is not a problem. The only problem is the mobs dying too fast from Thrash. And that's not really a problem at all, right? It's like a luxury problem, because they die and that's fine. Then you just go back and you skin them. So 181 is definitely enough. You don't need more than 181 if you're going to farm normal mobs. The only time you really want more than 181 is for farming elites. And for the gear setup I've gone for, I have 2 pieces of world boss gear. But basically it's mostly PvP gear. So you have the PvP rings right here, only rank 2. You also have the conquest ring, PvP weapon. If you're gonna upgrade anything, go for the weapon. I also have the enchant. You don't need the enchant, but I have it. You can also go for PvP trinket, definitely. But as long as you get yourself to 181 somehow by using, for example, this is the Covenant gear, right? So increases your out of combat region. This one can be good as well while running from mob to mob, right? So that one can definitely be good, but just get yourself to some item level and get this legendary right here. For other powers, you can go to your adventure guide right here, go to powers, go to Guardian, and just check out which ones you have. You have one for Berserk, which I don't really know the name of, so we can just check out the ones we have over here. Yes, it's Legacy of the Sleeper. Berserk in bear form grants 25% increased damage, 15% leech, and basically that's it. And cooldown reduced by 30 seconds, which means that a regular Berserk has 3 minutes, so every 2.5 minutes you can use Berserk, and you will get 25% more damage and 15% leech. This means you will heal yourself a lot, and you will kill the mobs even faster. And the thing is, as a bear, if you have either Berserk or Convoke the Spirits, you can pretty much one-shot the mobs, which means that 2.5 and 4 minutes. So every 2 minutes, you can basically one-shot one pack with the Convoke the Spirits, and every 2.5 minutes, if you have the Legendary, you can one-shot one pack with Berserk as well. So being Night Fae, yeah, talking about Covenant, being Night Fae is definitely the way to go, or the Convoke the Spirits once again. And maybe you can be something else to get a better loot bank, because this one is kinda trash. The only good thing you get from this is kind of the Callous Hinds. But if you go for something like Bastion and Kyrian, you can get some Lightless Silk. But I just feel like this one is way better, and Convoke the Spirits is so awesome for druids. So yeah, going for that one is definitely good, and having this conduit right here, you can run with travel form when you run from pack to pack, and you will retain some movement speed while you're running as well, so that's definitely good. One thing I want to say though is if you're going to farm for skinning, have either herbalism or mining as well at the same time, to pick up extra nodes here and there while farming. Like for example, if I was doing this route right here, I could pick up this one before I start the route and get some extra gold. It's not that much, like Death Blossom is only about 20 gold, right? So 80 gold right there. But if you pick up something like Nightshade and you get 4 of them, that's about 400 gold right there. So having a secondary profession while farming is definitely good. And I think that's pretty much it. So we covered the gear. You just have PvP gear. 181 is definitely good enough. Have this legendary right here. Learn how to pull. For the abilities, you just want to use the Thrash. And while pulling, use defensives, like for example Iron Fur all the way down here. You also have Barkskin or Barkskin. You also have Survival Instincts, which you can use all the time as well. And definitely... Yo, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, by the way, and yeah, check out my Twitch. I'm farming tons of gold over on Twitch as well, including skinning farms like this, so check me out on Twitch, link will be down below. You can also use Frenzied Regen to heal yourself, and look at this. 33-second recharge, heals you for 32% health over 3 seconds, and increases healing received by 20%. So basically, every 30 seconds, you can heal yourself for 30% health over time. Definitely good, and you can use this while pulling to be able to pull more basically. So definitely don't be afraid of using survival or defensive abilities while you're pulling, because you have so many of them available. Using Convoke the Spirits also heals you for about 50% health. So for me, I just use everything else while pulling, and then Convoke while I'm killing. And that's it. So you can use tons of survival and defensive cooldowns while you're pulling, to stay alive to pull more mobs. And that is pretty much it for the video. Just a quick little rundown of what I used, the gear I used, the talent points, the legendary. This one is really important once again, that is it. I'm farming Skinning. Skinning is really good right now, so having a level 60 is really good for Skinning. I'll talk really brief about why I'm farming on level 60 instead of level 50, because I have made one video about being level 50 for Skinning. Well, being level 60 gives you access to the loot banks like this one right here. Nature's Splendor, right? And you have to have Renown for this, so you can't get that as level 50. It will give you about 1000 gold per hour average from those banks. And here's the kicker though. As a level 60, you can get BoE Epics when you're farming for Skinning. And let's say you farm for 12 hours. Over that time, you could get an epic. That epic could be worth anywhere from 50k to 500k. So you definitely want to have that chance. The difference between being a level 60 and a level 50 is that a level 60 requires a little bit more time to set up, because you do need some gear. I think 170 should be enough as well, and you need to do some runs of Torghast to get the Soul Ash to craft a legendary. So basically, for Skinning alone, level 50 could be better, because it takes little to no time to set up. You can go in with basic gear and pull tons of mobs, but for the most gold per hour, level 60 would be better, but requires more setup, if that makes sense. So that is the video. I just wanted to make a quick, I shouldn't say quick, it's been 13 minutes, but yeah. I wanted to talk about how to set up a level 60 Guardian Druid for farming Skinning, and hopefully it's able to help you guys farm more gold as well. I will be doing tons of skinning farms on Twitch, so go check me out over there. Thank you so much for watching, that's the video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.